I 32 was on a vacation with my husband and his family for 5 days to another state. Truth be told, I'm not too fond of his family as a whole due to their intrusive, pushy nature, but decided to go since he insisted. I brought my video camera with me to capture some moments with him and our 4-year-old daughter. His family and his mom started complaining about not being included in the videos I recorded, but I already told them I wanted this to be a project for our small family, me, him, our daughter. He told me that this isn't right and that his family, his mom especially, feel kind of disrespected by me continually excluding them from all of my videos. He suggested I take a video or 2 of them just to keep the peace. Well, I told him that this costs me money, but still said okay and took 2 videos, 8 minutes long, of his mom, sister, her kids and husband and the others. That was still not enough apparently, as his mom wanted to be present in every video I take with my daughter. I was getting frustrated, honestly. We got on a boat for a short tour and his mom saw me recording my daughter and demanded I record her, but I politely declined. She threw a fit and told my husband, who gave me a horrible stare, then demanded that I include his mom in the entire video, but I refused. He suddenly took the camera out of my hand and threw it into the sea. I verbally gasped and then looked at him, and he sat back down nonchalantly, telling me I only got myself to blame for this. I was boiling inside. I looked over and I swear I saw his mom smirking. I had an argument with him, telling him in front of his family that I'm expecting and then demanding him to replace this expensive camera of mine, and the tour was cut short. His family said that I, once again, ruined their trip after I packed my stuff and said I wanted to go home with my daughter. His mom remained calm while his dad defended him, saying that his son was pushed by me and acted out of frustration, and that it was unrealistic of me to expect him to pay that much on something as unimportant as a camera. We went home and the fight continued. Now we are not speaking, but he keeps saying that I should have included his mom in the video and that I was no saint in this situation and shouldn't blame the victim, much less demand anything from him. But I just wanted to make some memories with my daughter. Was I wrong to demand him to pay for a replacement? Not the idiot. Wow. I cannot believe your husband threw your camera. And even worse, that your MIL smirked. I agree that it was polite to include her in some videos if she was feeling left out. But damn, that's next level crazy. I'd do everything in your power to make sure they paid for your camera. On a different note, does your husband usually act like this? Is this what you want for your daughter? Reimbursement isn't the issue here. Your husband has some issues with anger management if he thought this was an appropriate way to settle this conflict. You all, Mill, your husband, and yourself, need to communicate better. Why couldn't you include your Mill in some of your videos? Does your husband always take his parents' side against you? Are you always so inflexible when dealing with his family? Everyone's the idiot here. You should all get therapy, individually and as a family. This is not a healthy family dynamic. Everyone's the idiot here. You were on a vacation with extended family, thinking you could video only your daughter and your husband and pretend you were the only ones there is ridiculously rude, but destroying your property is over-the-top idiot behavior. He owes you a camera and you owe your daughter individual and marriage counseling or individual therapy and a divorce attorney. My grandparents own a big old cabin where every generation after them have enjoyed annual family vacations. Due to the cabin's age, there is constant maintenance that needs to be done. Every time we've replaced, fixed or repaired something, there is another thing that needs fixing. We also started slowly renovating the cabin as the interior has become quite dated as well. These costs have become too much for my grandparents to handle alone, especially since their age means they can't do much of the work themselves, and they need to hire professionals instead. This has caused them to implement a fee system. The rule is as follows. Every person from the age of 20 years old need to pay an annual fee to be allowed to stay at the cabin. The size of the fee varies as it is calculated according to how many people plan on using the cabin, and how big the upkeep costs were the previous year. I've happily paid this fee ever since the rule was implemented, and so have my parents, aunts, uncles and cousins. Every summer, my extended family tries to find a weekend during the summer where most of our vacations overlap so that we can all meet at the cabin and catch up. I decided to invite my girlfriend along as I want to introduce her to this tradition, as she is someone I'm imagining spending many future summers at the cabin with. She was ecstatic about the idea of meeting my extended family and going to the cabin, as she's very curious about it after hearing me talk about it a lot. Naturally, I sat her down and told her about the rule and how she needed to pay, as everyone else paid, and it was only fair for her to do so as well since she would be using the cabin when coming with me this year. This year's fee is around $200 to $400, depending on how many people use the cabin, due to a big roof leak and some pretty substantial water damage. The idea of paying this fee really upset her, and we had a big argument where she concluded with saying she would make other plans without me this summer. The rule is very simple and made completely fair on everyone. I don't understand why she thinks she should be exempt from it. My brother told me I should just pay her fee for her as my extended family really would like to meet her. But I really don't think that's fair for me to pay double the fee when she's completely capable of paying it herself. Am I the idiot? You are the idiot. You are not renting the cabin out. You are contributing to your family's accommodations. She, on the other hand, is a guest, not family yet, and with all this may not even be your girlfriend for too long, so it isn't fair to ask her to contribute to SMH that is your family's gain, not hers. You either had to exclude her out of the payment plan for this year at least, or until you go fiancé or wife level so she'll be contributing to her future family accommodations, or pay for her from your own pocket if your family insists on paying her share. Inviting her over and then asking to pay for SMH your family will keep in the end is not okay. You are the idiot. The family members who plan to vacation throughout the summer pay a fee to cover ongoing maintenance for the family cabin. A single visit guest of a family member should not be charged the fee. Do you charge both parts of married couples the fee? If so, then if you and she marry, and she enters the family, the two of you would pay a double fee. Charging your girlfriend when she is coming to meet the family for the first time is outrageous. You are the idiot, or at least your family is. This is a truly wacky way of handling this. In every situation I've known, the annual upkeep contribution fee for a family cabin is paid for by the family that owns the cabin. Visitors don't pay in. The family pays because 1, they use the cabin multiple times a year, and 2, it's usually with the understanding that they're eventually going to inherit it. If you want to charge a nightly fee you could do that, but no way on earth would you charge someone $200 to $400 for a weekend. My twin sister and I both live in the same major city, Vancouver, whereas most of our family lives near the interior of the province hours away. A few days ago, my sister and I visited much of our family at a huge family gathering, many of whom we haven't seen in years because of waves arms and other things. We traveled there separately. We aren't super close, but did not have any issues between us either. At a rest stop before arriving to the town, we got together to eat lunch at a diner. She then tells me not to talk to anyone about my fairly recent career. Most already know about it, but she said don't mention it or make a show of it. I bluntly asked why not. She simply said it would make her look bad as a landlord. She lives a fairly modest life and, according to what she's told me in the past, lives comfortably off of her tenant's income. We live in a very high rent area and she rents out one home and the basement suite of the home she lives. And left it at that. I gave her a weird look and said nothing. I'm fairly introverted and don't talk much, but that doesn't mean I won't tell people about my recent employment if they asked. I recently started as a doctor, and while it isn't as fancy as a neurosurgeon, I am still proud of myself for it. Well, during the party she overheard me tell someone about starting my new practice, and she blew up at me near the end and said I purposely, spitefully, made her look bad by mentioning my career. Especially when she asked me not to. And that because I am so quiet. It should have been really easy, and so by not following her requests, I was purposely trying to make her look bad. I told her simply, no. I have the right to talk about my career, and simply walked away. Anyways, I don't have many friends and she has plenty, some of whom texted me to shame me into trying to make her look bad. My sister has also sent me screenshots of her post on her landlord FB group where she said I was trying to make her look bad, and a ton of them were calling me judgmental and elitist about the whole situation. I don't know who to really talk about this with. I don't get it. I've never spoken ill of her and what she does. I was just talking about finishing my residency and my new steps in life. Am I the idiot? Really? Not the idiot. You are not responsible for your sister's feeling of inadequacy in her professional life. You are your own person and get to tell others about your accomplishments. And your successes do not diminish your sister's. But she wants you to not be anything so she will feel better about herself. She wants to diminish you and your success. Congratulations for completing your residency. That is very hard. Keep shining your light. Sounds like your sister has some strong insecurity about her job being collecting money from other people once a month in return for letting them live in her house. Why should you diminish yourself because she's insecure about her life choices? She has the money, time and resources to train in something if she's feeling that insecure. Not the idiot. Not the idiot. Your sister is definitely an idiot and really jealous. Her request wasn't a request at all. It was an order and was controlling and totally out of line. You didn't mention her career at all. You simply answered questions about your own. It is shocking how many people seem to have friends and family who interfere on their behalf. I cannot imagine a friend venting to me about what their sibling did and then taking it upon myself to text or message or call that sibling to chew them out. That is so weird and inappropriate. So I, 16, have recently begun applying for internships and jobs to spice up my resume. I have a strong passion for graphic design and visual effects. In the past, I have designed YouTube banners for many well-known people, edited their videos, and more. All of my work is watermarked with my name unless it's commissioned. My cousin, 23, who has been very close to me since I was young, has had a lot of trouble finding a job. She is also pursuing the same field. One day my cousin asked to see my portfolio with all my projects. Since we were so close, I didn't give it a second thought and sent her everything. My portfolio contains my best work. Keep in mind that it was watermarked with my name and socials in the bottom left corner. A few weeks go by, and my cousin had not found a job. Every once in a while, she comes and visits us and asks my parents questions, since her parents are out of state, about applying for jobs. She showed them her portfolio, resume, etc. When she let me see it, I was shocked. She had put all of my designs into her portfolio. All she did was cover my watermark with an ugly black bar with her name on top. She asked, beaming, if I thought it was nice. I didn't want to embarrass her and cause a scene, so I just nodded. The following week, our entire extended family visited for dinner. My cousin told everyone that she finally landed a job, a rather well-paying one for a graphic designer. She went on and on talking about how the interview mentioned that he was very impressed with her work. I wasn't exactly comfortable through all this, knowing she had stolen my work, but I kept my composure. The issue happened when my family started telling me to be more like my cousin and not laze around. I lost it. I started yelling at my family and cousin about how she had stolen my work, and that all she knew how to do was add a black bar and type her name out. I called her untalented enough that she felt the need to steal from a 16-year-old. My family was shocked. My cousin started crying and yelling that she had no idea what I was talking about. So I pulled up the messages she sent me asking for my portfolio. However, my parents didn't believe me and said that if I was telling the truth, why did I wait so long to say something? Even after explaining the entire situation to everyone, I was not trusted. And now my whole family is against me for causing a scene and making my cousin cry when we were supposed to be celebrating. Not the idiot. And you'll have so much proof on all your work that if you want to, you could potentially legally cause her issues, as copyright is automatically given to the creator. Your family is crap for not believing you. Next time, do not send your full work to anyone and show them in person, or put your watermark in the middle of the work piece you are showing them in big bold full color so they can't steal it. Not the idiot. Clearly she isn't very good at graphic design if the only way she can get rid of your watermark is by placing a black bar over it. I say go to her employer, send them the texts asking to see your portfolio along with your original designs with your watermarks. And include as many dates or times as you can, especially if you have saved files for your work. Maybe I'm petty, but stealing work is so low. She doesn't deserve that job. Probably won't be able to meet the standards needed for it anyway the second she has to use her own skills. Your cousin will get fired from her job because she won't be able to produce your level of work. She is unhinged to not only steal from you but to then show off her theft to you and the whole family. All it would take to prove to your family what she did is to show them your portfolio. Your family is the idiot for berating you and not believing you and enabling your unhinged thieving cousin. Not the idiot. I'm 20, a very sensitive sleeper. I have a hard time adjusting to most of the types of pillows and I usually prefer my own custom-made cotton pillow over anything. I usually try to adjust if I'm staying overnight somewhere, but it takes me a long time to fall asleep and makes me feel uncomfortable. Also, this thing started bugging me from my teenage years. It hasn't always been a problem. My whole extended family decided to take a vacation together this summer near the beach and all of us were looking forward to the trip. We booked a log cabin for a 3-night stay. Since it was a vacation and I had a lot of activities planned, it was important for me to sleep comfortably at night. So I decided to pack my pillow along with other things. 4 of us cousins were supposed to stay in one big room with 2 beds. When they saw me bringing my own pillow, they started laughing and made jokes about it. I didn't mind since it was all friendly banter and we were having a good time. The next morning when we were all having breakfast, the topic came naturally and my cousins were still like jokes about it. But my aunt got real quiet and upset. She asked me if I didn't trust her judgment when she booked this place. And if I think of myself better than every other kid in here who needs special treatment for her highness. She said all of it in a sarcastic way, but I could tell she was pissed. One of my uncles and the cousins tried to drop the topic saying they were just joking, she is getting too serious. I told her it was nothing like that and that I just sleep better with my own pillow. She dismissed me and commented how I can't live under a bubble everywhere and I need to learn to adapt to the real world out there. My mom later scolded me why couldn't I just adjust, but I got mad at her for not saying anything to her sister back there. Mom said aunt is just looking out for me and to treat her with respect as she is elderly. So am I the idiot here for bringing my pillow and trying to be better than everyone else apparently? It's a pillow. I always bring my own whether it's to a friend's house, hotel, or rental. It's not unreasonable to not trust putting your face on something you don't know where it's been. Also, if it's a sleep aid, you have all the more reason to bring it. At that point it's for your health, and everyone has different needs. I use special pillows too so I don't wake up in tons of pain. If I was told and expected to not use it, I would leave. You're definitely not the idiot. You, your health, and your happiness come first. Not the idiot. You are absolutely already making adjustments to adapt to the real world. You brought what you needed to sleep comfortably, like a grown adult tending to your own needs. Your aunt is a micromanaging, overbearing jerk though. It's not like you got there, berated her for having awful pillows, and made a huge fuss. All you did was pack a damn pillow. I mean, unless the cabin is in the remote wilderness and you're asking her to sling your special pillow suitcase onto her own back and carry it to the cabin, why does she even care? The best back sleeper pillow in the world is going to be uncomfortable to a side sleeper and vice versa. Your aunt is being strangely controlling about which pillows you use. Your mother seems to think micromanaging people is a prerogative of the elderly. It isn't. By the way, I, an old person, have adapted to the real world by packing whatever the hell I want when going on trips. If I'm not flying, that does include a 20 pounds weighted blanket, which I find really helps me sleep. Literally nobody has ever made a negative comment about it.